40 years of trickle-down economics that did not, in the end, trickle down very much at all to Plattbridge or Hindley. In fact, that system has siphoned wealth out of those places and into the hands of people for whom life.
Coming up, a stark critique that 40 years of neoliberal policy and deindustrialization have damaged northern communities and eroded local prosperity.
This is what we've got to focus on. People are losing faith in politics. More than anything, that's what people's votes were saying on Thursday, the 7th of May. They deserve a bigger response than politicians have given them before. And that's what I intend to provide in this by-election like no other. My core argument is this. Britain, if you look at the last 50 years, Britain has been on the wrong path. That has damaged communities across the north. The deindustrialization of the 1980s was devastating for places across Makerfield, like Ashton in Makerfield, Orrell, Winstanley, Hindley, Plattbridge. But you know, you could reel off the same place names, couldn't you, in your communities? You know exactly what I am talking about. The draining away of economic, social and political power from these places, left to drift. That's what happened. But that deindustrialization was then compounded by deregulation, privatization in the 90s, and austerity in the 2010s. It all adds up to 40 years of neoliberalism that was already very good. It created an economy that didn't work for most working people. It led to the loss of good jobs, the decline of our high streets and the neglect of our towns. It led to people paying over the odds for the daily basics, energy, housing, water, transport. And in the 2000s, and particularly in the 2010s, our councils across the north of England were stripped of the resource and power to do anything about it. They just don't have the agency that they should have to protect people from these changes. And that's the broken state of local.
Coming up, how councils were hollowed out and left without the resources or control to fix basics, turning democratic services into fragmented, unaccountable systems.
It's left us in a very bad state. If politics can't fix something as simple as a pothole, you've got a very big problem. Why should people have faith in the ability of politics to do anything if it can't do something as simple as that? And how unfair is it on those councillors who work hard in their communities and then just get swept away because of the failure of national government to protect local government and give them the ability to make basic improvements in their communities? It's not right. It's just not right. It needs saying that it's not right, and I'm here to do that. We just need a completely different relationship between the north of England. As good as the last decade has been in terms of the start we've made with devolution, underneath the combined authorities, sadly, we have hollowed out councils, and we have an unaccountable state where too much is delivered by arm's length or outsourced agencies that role. So many crucial services, like housing and energy, delivered by fragmented agencies outside of local democratic control. Let me give you a couple of examples. In recent times, we've experienced severe repeat flooding in Plattbridge, Bickershaw and Ashton. Caroline Simpson, Group Chief Executive of the Greater Manchester Combined Authority, answered a call from myself as Mayor and Josh Simons as local MP to get the agencies around the table. And we had to move heaven and earth to get that single conversation going, and a plan to deal with it, which we're still waiting for. It shouldn't be like that. We had to confront them with...
Coming up, local examples, repeat flooding in Plattbridge and Ashton, and a huge illegal waste dump at Bickershaw expose gaps in accountability and response.
Some of our more deprived communities should be at the top of the list for funding to make them more resilient. And the truth is they're at the bottom, with no accountability about how that money is allocated, no real accountability. And the voice of those places is just simply not heard in the same way as others by those unaccountable agencies. They were not told, quote, "We'll give you whatever money is needed and it will be spent," as Mr Cameron once told the home counties when they flooded in the 2014 floods. Another recent example has been the huge illegal waste dump in Bickershaw, which the authorities initially refused to shift, even though they had done so in the same circumstances in Oxfordshire. These are the things that need to change. If politics can't fix these things and can't deliver fairness across the country, equal treatment, it's no wonder that people lose faith. It's no wonder that things start to fragment. And this will threaten devolution in the north of England if we have a toxic politics underneath the combined authorities, in the local authorities. Local authorities are not able to do the basic things. We've had to support Trafford Council this year because of a poor national settlement. And that is just not how it should be. Local government should be given the funds it needs to discharge